Hello, hello. Welcome, guys.
Welcome.
All right, welcome to Talk with Yours Truly. It's a great show. Joining us today, we have one of our good friends, Jason Knight.
How y'all
Say
doing?
hello.
What's happening?
Should look familiar to you guys. And we have a new guest to our show, Johnny Cadet, who is the program director of the Community Counseling and Mediation in Brooklyn. Also the co-founder of Founders for Life Incorporated. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate
That was a
it.
lot that I just read. You doing a lot.
Well, it's things that I like to do in the community. I like to help my people, especially people of color. So,
Nice.
I started Foundations for Life with a friend of mine, and we just thought that based on the resources that we had or didn't have growing up, we can provide that to the young people that we serve in our own community.
That's always amazing. Give back, give back.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yes.
Okay, so I just want to talk about why I was late last week coming to the show.
Mm-hmm.
So, usually there's a family dilemma that kind of arises, and I feel like every time this dilemma occurs, I'm always the one to have to put whatever I'm doing aside to now go and tend to this family dilemma.
Okay.
And I feel like I've been doing this for years. I've kind of been putting myself to the side to like help others, and I want to now put me first,
As you should.
right? And
I
I feel
always
like
save the day.
pretty much is what I. So on my 30th birthday, I made this promise to myself that from this point on, that I would no longer put anybody else first. That I would put me first. And so far, so good.
It's been working out.
So far, it's been working out. But that's what we're gonna talk about today on our Your Truly topic: selfishness.
That's a good word. How do you feel about selfishness?
Well, for me, I think just going to her story about putting herself first, I think that's important. I think that I don't look at it as being selfish at all, to be honest with you. I think that when you show people, when you put yourself second by doing for others all the time,
Right.
you teach people that you're second. So, that's how people are going to start to treat you, is that you come second. So you sometimes have to be able to say no and put other things aside to take care of yourself. You're not going to be able to take care of others if you don't take care of yourself first.
Do you guys associate selfishness being like a part of a bad word, like something bad?
No, not necessarily. It depends on what you're being selfish about. If you're being selfish with food, that's one thing. You don't want to share it.
Right.
Siblings, family, whatever, that's one thing. But then when you get to a point where it's about, self-gratification or the process of you moving forward, and whether it be school, a career, or anything possible or anything positive, no, because the first person who has to live your life is you. No one can live your life but you.
Right.
So sometimes you gotta be, listen, I gotta do this, I got to focus on me first, because if I don't reach this next step, how can I pull the people who I need along with me if I can't make this step?
Right.
And somebody always has to take that first step, and those who take that first step, yeah, it's a little bit selfish because you're thinking of self first, but if you don't think of self first, how do you survive?
This is true. Just like when you're on a plane, if you're about to crash, don't they tell you that you have to put the mask on you first in order to save someone else?
Right, yeah, that's exactly
Makes
what they
perfect
tell you.
sense. I can't help you unless I'm good.
But can you trust a selfish person?
Well, again, I think it goes back to what Jason stated. It depends on what they're being selfish for,
Yeah.
right? I think that we're taught as he stated earlier, as young kids, about food, not sharing your food, that's necessarily a bad thing. I think that if you have it to share, then you should, right? That's the,
Exactly.
the being a compassionate person, right? If you have it to give, then you share. But sometimes you don't have it. Sometimes you have enough just for yourself, and it's kind or generous, whatever you want to call it, to give your last to someone else, but it's not always productive.
Not true.
So, you know what I mean?
Not
Going back
necessary.
to Antoinette's statement about the airplane. If you're not taking care of yourself on that plane, how are you possibly going to help someone else?
This is true.
You know what I mean? So you have to,
Yeah.
a lot of times, put yourself first.
Right.
And why does selfishness have to be connotated with a negative phrase?
It's just how it is. That's how I associated it for a long time until I actually dug deep into it and realized you don't have to be selfish. Even if you're being selfish about one particular thing, it doesn't have to be negative. But
Absolutely.
I do feel like being selfish in certain instances is bad. Like if you don't want to, okay, let's say you're in a relationship, you don't want to share your heart. You need to share that. Like we need to put folks in to make this productive. But in other instances, it doesn't have to be negative.
I feel like there's a time and place to be selfish. You know what I mean? Like,
Definitely.
going on based off of what you said, it's just a time and a place to be selfish. When it comes to my business, I feel like I would have been further off if I wasn't so giving, or if I wasn't so kind to people, like, oh, Tati, I need you to do this for me, and blah, 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 and I would kind of put myself on hold to now go and I would help them. Oh, okay, well, let me help you out. You gotta do this. But me helping them didn't kind of, I think I was enabling them in a way from
It is.
doing what
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
needed to do, because I was always there to help
Right,
them.
you were their crutch.
And then I was feeling in what I wanted to do because I was out there helping other people instead of helping myself. And there's a quote that says you're gonna run yourself dry, and the other person is going to be filled. They're gonna see the fruits of your labor with somebody else.
Right.
And I was just like, okay, yeah, I need to put myself first. But speaking about business, you said you and your friend started a business at Foundations for Life.
Among others, my brother Bruce and I, we always trying to venture into different things and different entities. But yeah, Foundations for Life is a nonprofit organization, like I stated earlier, that focuses on young people in the community, specifically black young people. And our focus is multi-sensory learning. I think a lot of times when you grow up and you go to school, you don't realize, or we as people don't realize how to learn, right? So what we decided was we were going to try to teach young people how to learn, the best way to learn for them. If you are in the education field, you know about the 3 different learning styles and things of that nature. But we kind of took it a little bit further with focusing on not just the 3 different learning styles, but also the 5 senses and how they play a part in how we learn. And when you start at a young age, as you guys know, that young people absorb information much faster and easier than adults. So we just decided that we'll take that information that we learned through just being in the education field and push a little bit further with the 5 senses, and we came up with Foundations for Life. We have after school programs in different schools throughout Brooklyn. We do different events for the community. We have galas every year where we raise money to fund our programs as well as our summer camps and things of that nature. So so he's pretty much my business partner. He is someone that helped me with Foundations for Life. We also had an investment group together as well. So yeah, he's my business
Were
partner.
you guys friends beforehand?
Absolutely. We've
Nice.
known each other close to 30 years now.
Okay, so here's a scenario. If you and, what did you say his name was?
Bruce.
Bruce, right, just started Foundations for Life, and then you got offered a great opportunity. But then that would mean that you would have to leave and start this great opportunity and leave the business that you started with your friend. Do you think that it's selfish of you to do that, knowing that the business with your friend might fail?
I think, again, it depends on how you look at that word, selfish, right? Because if you look at it as a negative, then yeah, you're going to think that that's a negative thing, that I'm kind of leaving them high and dry. That's my brother, you know what I'm saying? So that's something that I think that would not necessarily be selfish in a negative way. I think if I'm able to pursue something that's going to better me, then I look at it like this. If we're brothers, if we're partners, if one of us succeeds, we're both going to succeed.
Okay.
Definitely.
You
I
understand
got
what I'm
that.
saying?
So it depends on the person.
It depends on the person.
Right. Okay. That makes perfect sense.
Because I'm not going to leave them just high and dry. I'm going to further myself in whatever that career is, but I'm always going to pull them with me, and vice versa.
Right.
Well, from my perspective on it, because I have my own entertainment company, from me starting my own, it's hard to develop from the bottom up. But then if you have somebody with you and you got that key opportunity, you have to look at it where if, like you said before, if the person understands what's going on, then it's an easy transition. Because sometimes you gotta make that selfish move. Because if it's especially if you're a person that has a family, you have people who depend on you. You can't always look at it as, you know what, I gotta take care of mine.
Yeah.
I gotta take care of my family. My kids gotta eat. My family gotta eat. So if this is gonna put me and my family a better opportunity, then this may get pushed to the side.
Right. So it
So,
depends on the
so it
situation.
depends on the situation, and it also depends on who you work with. Because if your partner really wants it, they're gonna continue. They're gonna work. They're gonna do what they gotta do.
Right.
If they need advice, they can come to you. You can talk, and y'all can still powwow. But I can't devote all of my effort into this anymore.
Right.
Because now my efforts are being shifted someplace else.
But do you think that it's gonna hinder or just
It can. It can.
to the friendship.
Yeah, it can. Because you know why? Because if two entities are depending on one another to survive, then you got to look at it as who's going to be the weaker or the stronger link.
Right.
Whoever the weakest link is, they will fall down. Because one is going to feed off the other one, whether it be tenacity, whether it be ingenuity, whether it be one person is smarter than the other one, and whether one is a more of a go-getter, one is a more of a people person. Because within a partnership, it's two different sides that come together. Because like they say, opposites attract. With him and his brother, maybe he may be the one that's more of the outspoken. He may be the front runner. When people need to talk, they speak to him. But when business needs to get done, they talk to his brother. Because his brother can handle the book side of it, the mathematical side, where the business part breaks down.
Right.
You know, he may not be the person who you put out and to have a conversation with the whole crowd of people, because that's not him.
Right.
Because
Good
he's
question.
not a face.
So what if like it was vice versa? Like if it wasn't up to you to make that decision to leave or not. What if it was if the question was directed towards your partner?
I think that for me, it will go the same way. Again, Jason stated, you have to take care of what's important to you as an individual first, right? We stated that at the beginning. So if you have a family, if you have, obligations that are important or that you need to take care of, those are the things that you need to make sure. And again, for me, it's never an opportunity where, again, if we're more than just business partners, if you're my brother, it's never going to be an opportunity where I'm going to gain and you're not going to gain. You understand what I'm saying? If we start in a business and we so happen to have to put that business to the side because either you or I have come into contact with a better opportunity, who's to say that that opportunity is not going to further our business in the future? It's going to bring about more resources, more doors to be open, so we can, start that business anyway. And again, just because we put it to the back burner doesn't mean it's finished or it's dead. It just means we gotta wait a while because this might be a little bit more important. And
I'm not saying that what you guys are doing is not loyal, and it's great that you guys will have an understanding with your partner. But I feel like if it's a business that you guys both dove into and you're both passionate about, why not be loyal to that person in the business that you originally started versus the greater opportunity that you got?
I think that
what's more important?
I think it's a great question. I think loyalty is extremely important, but loyalty goes both ways, right? So if my business partner is offered an opportunity that where our business that we started together might have to get pushed to the back burner, shouldn't I be loyal to him and allow him to take that opportunity as well, even though it might, shift the focus of what we're doing in terms of our business? Loyalty goes both ways, right? So, but again, if I'm offered an opportunity and the business have to take a back burner and he's upset about that, then that doesn't necessarily mean he's not loyal. It just means that he's upset, right?
But what is he saying? You're not loyal, and he's calling you selfish. Like, listen, you promised me that we was gonna start this business together.
You haven't worked
now
for 2 years, or like going
now you done took that position. Now I don't want to hear nothing you have to say because we were supposed to do this together.
So for me, again, that's where the selfishness may take a negative connotation, right? Because I'm going to take that opportunity if I feel that is best for me as an individual. And I feel like I have to, based on whatever obligations, and I'm speaking for myself, based on whatever obligations that I have, right? So I have a family to provide for. And doing this business, one, is going to possibly take time away from that family, which I was, from the beginning, okay with, right? Doing this business is going to take money from that family because it takes a lot of money to begin a business, right? So again, which I was okay with. But now this opportunity has presented itself where I don't have to do that anymore in terms of time for my family or money from my family.
But how about you do? How about both opportunities are the same?
Right,
Which one is greater than the other?
Yes, you just don't know until the time comes with it. You don't know how much time it's going to be.
Those are decisions that I have to make in that moment.
Yeah.
I can't really worry about what could be.
Okay, you're thinking of the now. Because
I
you
have
a
to.
family. So
then,
selfish.
so then that
There's nothing
that
wrong with
poses the
that.
question: do you feel in order to be successful, you have to be selfish?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I just
Because because when you look at it at the end of the day, like Jay said, if you have your family to support, then that for me and for himself, as being a father, as being a provider, you have to know when to break, when you have to break a tie if necessary. You can have two people chasing the same dream, and then they come together on the silver plane, and everybody's willing to work together. But then, if my means outweigh the wants that I have, which means I want to be successful. I want to be this or I want to be that. But if I got kids in my background like, Daddy, we're hungry.
But what if we ain't got kids? Okay, what if there's no kids and all you got is this business you started with this person? There's nothing else holding you back but the opportunity that was presented.
Then you assess the situation.
Yeah,
You assess the
yeah,
situation
that's
and
it.
determine what's best for either yourself or you and your business partner.
Right.
And again, for me, if I can bring you along with this opportunity, then I'm more than happy to. If I can't, then I can't. Right?
How you got a partner?
How are you gonna run a business when you said in order to be successful you have to be selfish? Because every time when you have a business, I'm assuming you're a team, so you have to.
But
think
that's
one
no.
umbrella.
When you're a team, when you're having a team, you learn how to compromise.
Yeah.
It's called compromising. You learn how you
But
learn.
then where's
you learn
the
how to
compromise if you're choosing to be selfish?
No, because that's where the conversation comes. The compromise is if me and you have a business, right, that we've been working on, say we working on a dance studio, you understand? And then I have an opportunity to go on tour to dance for somebody else. And we have a studio, but I know you can't do the studio without me. But by me being able to branch off and make a better income can help us financially build what we need to do to what we have, because our biggest problem was we didn't have the capital to build what we needed.
This is true.
If she has to work and then make the money, it's two incomes that's going to build this capital. Because if both incomes don't build the capital that which we need to move forward, if you can't do it on your own, because without you I can't do it on my own. But if we both have an opportunity to bring something in that we can build on what we have, because the whole point of having a dance studio is you need the facilities to dance, right? Can't dance in your mama's basement all the time. It's too hot. You need the AC. You need the mirrors. You need the lights. You need the spacing. So what do we need? We need a studio.
But then what if so let's say you're going to go on tour, make that money, and let's say it's going to help me build the dance studio that we're doing together.
Right.
What if you get another opportunity? I got to let you go again?
Well,
It's a continuous thing. It's ongoing.
But it depends.
Now it's my business. You're out.
Yeah.
And
you know
sometimes
what?
it's like
It
that.
happens
No,
like that
sometimes it
sometimes.
happens.
It's
And
like-
there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that at all. And
Because it's my dance studio now.
I think that you
Then
talked
that means
about.
I can be a silent investor and help you to put you where you need to be.
There it is.
I guess.
Because now that I can't fully commit 100% to what I promised you, but since I know you've been here doing the footwork, well, you know what? Since I got the capital, I can send you a check for $20,000.
Everyone don't have the mentality.
But that's
I know
loyalty.
plenty of businesses
But that's your question with the loyalty, right? That's where the loyalty comes back in.
This is
Because I couldn't live up to the half that I promised you. Here's the money that you needed, because I know that this was the point of why we didn't have it, because we needed that money. We needed to push that forward in order to get what we needed to get. So since you couldn't do it, I did it for you, so you can have, because you know specifically what we need. That's why two heads is better than one.
And then you throw in that word foundation. When you start a business, especially with a partner, you guys have to build that foundation first. It's not just, hey, you want to start a business, let's go do it.
Right.
You have to have those discussions. You have to have those tough conversations about
Yeah.
what if, when this happens, or if this happens, what's going to happen.
Yeah, but you can
know
talk
what I mean?
about those things prior. It doesn't even matter, because when the situation actually happens, who knows what you're actually going to want to do.
Absolutely. People feel in those moments going to feel whatever they feel. But again, if you build that foundation strong, and again, just because I'm taking this opportunity or you're taking this opportunity does not mean the business is dead.
Yeah.
It just means it has to wait, or it has to take a different route to reach success.
Right.
Okay, so going based off of what you guys were just talking about, how if it goes left field, that's kind of what happened with Hatchers Inc. With my business. Me and my sisters, it was the three of us, we started it together. And things kind of happened. My sister wanted to pursue a music career, my other sister wanted to do cakes. And I was left like, no guys, come on, we gotta do this. We gotta do this fashion thing. And they were just like, no, and they just kind of left, and I was like, you know what, I want to do it, I'm passionate about it, so let me just bring it back and start it back. So I started it back, and I brought it up, and at first, it was kind of shaky, but then I started doing fashion shows, and I did Harlem Fashion Week, and I was featured in, Vogue Italia and stuff like that, and then now my sister, she's trying to come back.
Because she
My
see
oldest
that
one,
it's booming.
I don't know
Say
if
now.
I don't know if it's because she see that as booming, but she's saying she wants to help me. She's giving me ideas and this, that, and the third. And sometimes I'm like, okay, I'll take the ideas. But other times I'm like, where were you when I needed you? Because now you want to do this, that, and the third, but I'm appointing other people and you're getting mad. but those people were there for me
Yep.
when I wanted to start it over.
She probably feels like you need to be loyal to her because she just sits there and she started.
She
you
does,
first.
and that's when
But
perceptions
she
come
drops
in.
you. No,
But this is business. It's nothing personal in
ain't
business.
that personal?
Nothing
This
at all.
is
That-
business. This is business. If she can't do the job and what you asked her to do, then it's nothing personal. If you need to, if I needed you here on the ground floor and you couldn't be here, it's okay because there's 100 other people who will replace you and who will be there because their drive and their passion is to be here.
Did they
I'm sorry, and I look at it like this, right? You guys talked about doing that groundwork and that footwork or whatever the case may be. That happened to me with me and Bruce as well. And I'll pose this question to you. If your sister came to you and said, here, I'll give you $150,000, you're going to turn that money down?
No.
You understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. So for me, and we talked about it earlier, I don't want to do the footwork. So I'll give you the $150,000. You do all the work, and my name don't even have to be on the credit. Give me my money. I just need a return on my investment.
Okay, it's capital for you.
Because it's business, right? So I'm
Right.
not taking nothing personal. Yeah, I wasn't there doing the groundwork, and yeah, you don't have to have my name on the credit. But my pockets is gonna be full because I'm getting a return on my investment. That's business.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I kind of feel bad because that's that part of me where it's like, you know, she does want to be a part. She wants to help me, but then it's just like, now I want to be selfish. No, this is my business because it is in my name. Like
It is. It's yours.
so
now.
it's mine now, and this is me kind of like I want to be selfish now with this.
And what
But
you
do
do-
I let her
Have every
help
right
me?
to be.
You listen. You put her where you need her to be.
Simple.
That's it. If you don't need her at the top and you need her at the bottom, sewing on buttons, then that's where you need her at.
She
Well,
got comfortable.
I think
Look,
she going.
yeah,
I think
and
she's
that's
watching y'all.
That's it. Yeah, listen, that's just what it is. If she's not going to be what you need her to be, then she don't need to be there. Because you can't leave from the top and think you won't come back to the top when everything is already established. You can't do that. It
I just
doesn't
don't
work
know
that
how
way.
to go about it or approach it. You know what I mean? But
Exactly what you just said.
My approach is always be direct.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
It does.
Don't let it get too late where she's
Yeah.
starting to get somewhat invested and you're leading her on and now you're like, but really, you're not really a part of the project, but you are, but you're not.
Yeah.
Like, you
I
gotta
mean,
be
that's
real open
confusing.
about it.
she is. So I put her part of it. But sometimes when she runs ideas, she's like really adamant about it.
But
Like,
is it a
oh,
part
do
of
this.
your vision?
Then you'd be like, oh, you have the
No.
final say.
Yeah, 'cause remember.
Ultimately,
you-
do they know that you dropped the final say?
Yeah, she knows that.
yeah,
She has to know that. She has to
Make
know
it
that.
clear, make it
that
clear.
is, this is your company. If she doesn't go with your vision, then it's not what you want. Because technically, she works for you.
Simple.
That's it. She works for you now.
'Cause you're
It's
honest.
not, you know, Hatches Inc. sisters and all this stuff. No, this is your baby. Because you took the time to invest, you developed your foundation, and you grew it to where it needed to be. So now you have whatever say so that you choose to have. Now, if you choose to bring her on at the top and make her a partner, then that means you guys are joint partners, and she shares equal the responsibility, which is the debt, which is the payments of the stuff, which is the footwork. And if she's not going to be a part of that, and she just want to give advice and put her name on something just so she can collect the check, now I'm good.
Yeah.
You start the
You
bottom.
give advice when we have a think tank. Other than that,
That's it. I don't need you for the real because, you know, when you look at things from a personal standpoint and when you look at it from a business standpoint, when it's a business, you gotta look at it as how can we grow financially as a group. You know, it's not because I like you, because I know there's plenty of people at your job you may not like. But as a team, because it's a business, you gotta work together to achieve a goal.
This is
You
true.
have to get some at the end of that 5-day week. There's something that has to be established. There's something that has to be a product or a project or something that has to be accomplished at the end of that week. I don't gotta like you, but we still gotta get it done.
Right.
But now, if I don't like you because your hair is red, or I don't like you because your eyelashes is longer than mine, so I'm not gonna do the work, that's
Yeah,
personal.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm picking that little stuff. Oh, her shirt look better than mine. I ain't gonna help her do nothing. That's personal. That's petty.
You gotta
That's
work on
selfish.
yourself.
And you have to
Right.
think about what the goal of a business is. It's to make money.
Exactly.
And if whatever you guys are going to do is going to generate revenue, then that's what you do, right? You put those personal feelings aside and say, hey, listen, this is what I need in order for us to be successful. So yeah, if you're not starting her off at the top, so she's not at the top. This is what I need for you to do in this moment for us to be successful, for the business to be successful. And put away the fact that she wasn't doing the groundwork. Put away the fact that she kind of dipped off when things was getting tough. She's here now, right? She's here now. Even if it's for selfish reasons, you use
But
it,
then, no, but
right?
you
Because then
can't-
now you have to be selfish.
I don't want to use that. I don't want nobody that's going to be thinking like that in business with me. If it's just, it's selfish. It's not.
But then
I'm
you be
gonna put that
selfish
down.
also, right? Because think about it like this, right? If you're not being used, then you're not useful.
Exactly.
But don't allow people to
Use
misuse you.
Right.
Right?
Why
So,
doesn't
it-
just like
Use
she is saying, well, she's coming back because now she sees it flourishing. Okay, where can she be helpful? Where can she be beneficial? I'm going to put it in that position, right? Because now I'm going to be selfish as well.
Right.
Because that's going to benefit me.
Got it. So then which one is worse? Because now everyone's just using each other.
But it's never really. It's not like
I
it's
wonder
not
if it's
good.
no-
It's not good nor bad. Like I said, it depends on the situation because every situation is different. Like you said, if she's coming in from the outside and she sees that her business is so successful that she has to be a part of it, like you said, find a spot, even if it's mopping the floors every day, so when people come in, the floors is clean. Or if she's just answering the phone, telling people good morning, this is such and such business. How are you this morning? Giving people morale, even if she's a team lead or even anything. You just have to find out what she can be useful for to benefit you. Because like you said, at the end of the day, it's still being a selfish note.
So basically, what we're saying. Each of us has to be a little bit selfish to succeed.
You have
When
to.
it comes to business, I think
Yes, you have to be. Because like I said, at the end of the day, it's not personal. It's not I'm not gonna, by me not hiring a person, that's selfish. I'm not gonna let you make no money with me because I don't like you because of whatever reason. That's selfish. That's petty and it's childish.
You know how they say they try to separate business from personal? I think it's easier said than done.
Absolutely.
Because if
easier
you're
said
going
than
into business with someone that you feel like you trust, it's a friend, a sister, mother, father, doesn't matter whom it is, at the end of the day, it's going to always be some type of personal something in here.
Agreed. And that's why you put that foundation. That's why you start with that strong foundation.
Right.
And even if you have to put things in writing, then you put it in writing.
Right.
Because it could get to the point where it's like, oh, well, I know. Because I've worked with people who kind of sat on the sideline to see how it's going to play out. So they didn't believe in my vision.
Right.
So I'm saying, listen, let's do this. And they're like, yeah, let's do it. But they kind of sat, didn't do too much, just waited to see how it played out. And if it was a fail, then it was like, yeah, I'm out. But if it started booming, oh, let me jump in, right? And at first, I'm like, well, damn, that's not how it's supposed to be, right? That's a little selfish. But then when I realized how that can benefit me, and I became a little bit selfish, then it worked out, right? Because you can stay on the sidelines. So maybe I don't need you right now. And even if I do, let me do it myself or whatever. And then when you see, but now I'm in control because I built
you
it.
more than
Right. So now because I'm in control, I can put you exactly where I need you.
Because I know
Right.
I'm at
And I'm putting that in writing. I'm starting that foundation. Right. So everybody's clear on what their role is. The buck stops here. Right. So you can have whatever idea, you can have whatever thoughts and comments that you want to have, and I'll take them into consideration. But the buck stops here, and it's clear from the beginning.
Right. Because there's only there's only one head in any castle. There's only one head. It's not a democracy, it's not a dictatorship, it's not a whole bunch of everybody. Oh no. As a matter of fact, yes, it is a dictatorship. Because it's one leader. You can't have 100 chiefs and no Indians. You can't. It's never because you got one business. Right. You gotta have somebody who's going to say, listen, you got to do this job. You got to do that job. And if you guys don't come together, then I got to replace you with somebody else.
Right.
Somebody has to be the one to make the hard decisions. Because everybody can throw ideas in. Everybody can want to do something.
Yeah.
Everybody can want their hand out when they want to get paid. But then don't nobody want to do no work. Like he said, do you got those people? And like you said, that's a good thing. Let them sit back and watch where it comes in. Because like you said, because that's not only is that going to make you, that's going to strengthen you as a business person, it's going to strengthen you as an organization. Because now you have the mission statement. You have the guidelines of what you want your business to be. So when they come in and they see your vision, wow, he really put that to work. You know what? Let me jump in now and see where he can use me. Now I need you here. I'm glad you came on now because I know you got a degree in marketing. I'm at the point now I can utilize your degree. I need a marketing person.
Yeah.
I need an
I see it
accountant.
differently now. I get what you guys are saying. It makes
And if you
way
take
more
the
sense.
personal out of it, because I think we all looking at it from that personal standpoint. Oh, that's my friend. Oh, that's somebody that I know or that I care about. But again, if you take that part out of it, that's just like anybody. I don't know Jason, right? But that's if he came to me and said, "Oh yeah, I heard what you was doing with Foundation for Life. I want to invest." I'm gonna turn him down because I don't know him?
Sure.
No. Or because he was sitting on the sidelines watching my business grow, and now he wants to jump in when it's profitable.
No,
Why
I'm
not?
taking that money.
I'm gonna take that money because it's gonna benefit me.
Thank
Right.
you
But I'm
very
gonna
much.
take this
Thank
money
you.
under the condition, and it's gonna be clear at the beginning. I'm taking this money under these conditions. This is what I need from you, and what I'm gonna do with your money.
Right.
And same thing for him. He gonna tell me, well, I'm gonna give you this money under these conditions. You know what I'm saying? This is the money, and this is what I need from you, right? And if we can come to an agreement, then I take the money. He just invested in something. If not, we go our separate ways, and that's it.
And there's no fuss, no muss, nobody lost anything, nobody gained anything because now we're clear on what we need. That's where that paperwork come in. That's where that conversation comes in. That's that compromise.
What about being selfish in a relationship?
No, I was gonna say something about that.
Selfishness in
Like
a
I started with
relationship.
that.
It's hard to be.
It's kinda
selfish.
broad, like,
It's,
you
it's,
have
it's
like
hard. It's hard to be selfish in a relationship because a relationship is meant to compromise, but you have to be still selfish in some sort of way because whether it be a man or a woman, you shouldn't allow anybody to misuse you. Like Jay said earlier, you shouldn't allow anybody to misuse you. So you can't be in a relationship with a man who's going to abuse you and tell you he loves you. That's being misused.
So branching off the topic of can you be selfish when you're doing business with your partner, etc. What about in relationships? Can you be selfish there? And is it okay?
Yeah, it's definitely okay to be both ways because in a relationship, you still have to be selfish a little bit and you still have to compromise. Because on one end, within a relationship, it's two different people learning how to coexist in one setting.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing like a business. You got two different avenues that need to coexist to do one solid goal. But then at the same time, you still need to be selfish because you don't need to. You can't allow your girlfriend to take advantage of you, or your boyfriend, or your husband, or in that matter. You can't allow certain people to take advantage of you when it's not truly necessary. Like a woman who's being abused, and then just because the man says, baby, I love you. I didn't mean to hurt you. He's playing on her emotion. He's playing on the fact that her insecurity is keeping her with him.
Wait, but then when you decide to start being selfish in a relationship, is it genuine? Like, is the trust still there? Like, why is anyone wanting to be selfish? I understand that aspect as far as, like, abuse. It's just time to go. Because now she's finding compromise, or he's finding compromise to stay in that relationship because you want to make it work so bad. But now you're being selfish because you have to take care of yourself. But why is everything so self? Like, why can't we be selfless?
Because you have to learn for self-preservation. How do you survive if you don't think about self?
Right.
So then how can you be in a relationship?
I have a friend that gets into relationships because she is selfish.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm gonna be into this relationship because I want him to spend money on me. I want him to do all these things for me. That's her being selfish.
Yeah, that's
because she don't want to spend her own money. I want to spend my own money. I want to spend his.
That's just her being unhappy and kind of dumb. Sorry.
I think it's tricky when it comes to relationships in terms of selfishness. I think that on one hand that you do kind of have to think about yourself and build yourself up as well. But I think when you enter into a relationship, your partner is supposed to contribute to that as well, right?
Yes.
Your partner is supposed to build you up and help encourage you and bring you up to a certain level, and vice versa. So I think that while in business that we, it's not built on, a personal relationship, it's more built on business, that in a relationship, you kind of have to, when you talk about compromise, you have to make those sacrifices for the next person. So I think it's tricky. I think it's a slippery slope that we're going on when we talk about selfishness in a relationship, because I think that you should at some point in a relationship kind of take hold of yourself and think about yourself. But I think the relationship can't be based on that.
No.
Okay, what about, I don't want to stray too much, but what if you decide to cheat? Now let's say you cheated, right? But you're obviously doing it for your selfish reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But then again, if you think about it, on the other hand, he or she is also being selfish, because what if you're deciding to cheat because they're not doing what they should be doing in a relationship? So it's like, so now y'all both just being selfish. So where do you go from there after, let's say you cheated, another person cheated, and trying to fix things? Like, how do we?
Are you trying to fix things after the cheating has already been done?
Usually that's what people do. Yeah.
Well,
Some people try to.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like sometimes people try to fix things while they're cheating,
Right.
and it doesn't work.
Right.
Because you have your times where you're actually the one cheating. You know, at times you have in your mind, you'll tell yourself, you know what, I can't do this, it's wrong. I can't do this, it's wrong. I gotta try to work or try to do whatever. I can speak from my own personal experience. You know, from being on that side of the fence. You know, you'll sit back and you'll think to yourself, you know what, I gotta stop what I'm doing. I gotta stop what I'm doing. But then you stop and you think again, you ain't giving me no reason to stop what I'm doing.
It's like, but do they know? Well, they don't know that you're cheating. It's not like you know I'm about to go cheat with Shirley.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they know, because you gotta live with the decisions that you make.
This is true.
You gotta live with that. So you gotta think upon yourself, is it work? Because now you still, like I said, there's a consequence to every step that you take. Same thing in business. Just like we said earlier, if there's an opportunity that you need to take, that's better than the opportunity that you can now, right? You don't know what that opportunity is going to give to you. Do you take it? Whether it's going to make your business grow, whether it's not going to make it could probably have nothing to do with that other person. It won't help them at all. But it's just about you. What are you going to do?
And that happens in relationships all the time,
Yeah,
right?
but then you want to, that comparison, it makes sense, but it's like now you're saying like, she looked better and she got money. She ain't really that cute, but I just like the way she thinks. It's just like they have different things, but should I go to the one that I like versus the one that I love? Like it's
That's exactly what you're saying. That's exactly what
that's
it
just
is.
messed up. So
basically,
but then that's the
just
same.
all wrong, guys. Don't cheat.
But it's realistic though.
It is.
It's real talk, because you got to look at it as why. If I'm going to be with this woman that I love, I like this person. What am I working towards? What is going to benefit me at the end of the day? Am I going to stay with this woman that I love and be miserable, or at least give the person I like a try? Because maybe this may be better for me.
And those are the things that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying, is it safe to say that every unapologetic,
You're right.
basically every decision that we make based on us that we don't want to apologize for is selfish, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
So every day we make selfish decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time we make, and that's in any situation we're gonna make. When you go make a decision, generally you make that decision based on how you feel.
So us as humans are selfish.
Everybody's
Yeah,
selfish. At the end of the day, everyone is selfish. Even if you feel it or not, you're automatically, you're selfish. Because you get up in the morning and think like, you know what, I'm going to brush my teeth today because I don't want my teeth to fall out. Or I don't want to get cavities, so I'm being selfish. Oh, wait, am I being selfish? I'm just doing the right thing.
So majority of the decisions that we make
I would be selfish if I didn't do that.
Majority of the decisions that we make, is it selfish decisions?
Again, I wouldn't even put an amount on it, whether it's a majority or a minority. I would just say that it's about that gratification, right? And these are the decisions that we make on an everyday basis, right?
Mm-hmm.
I made the decision to come here, right? It was because I was asked to come here. I could have said no, but I felt that it would be good for me, right? Now, will it benefit the show and the people on the show? I would hope so, but I didn't do it necessarily for that. I did it because I felt it would be good for me. Now, if you want to say that it's selfish, then hey, that's selfish, right? Right? I'm not in the entertainment business at all, but I got to talk about what I do for a living. I got to talk about some of my entities
So you
and
just
things like
use
that.
us.
Again, if you're not being used, then you're not being used.
Come on now, look, that
Like
was
that.
that's the quote for today.
Yes.
Get to use it.
Before we go in our We See You segment, I would like to recognize my dear friend and mentor, Gamakachi Black. She was born and raised in Guyana with her grandmother, but she is a Queens, New York City-based urban designer. Growing up watching her grandmother sew, she developed a love for fashion and design. And from there, she loved to just watch her creations come to life and see them on the runway. She has been in several fashion shows and have been featured in many magazines. You can Google her, Gamakache Black, Gamakachi Black. And September 2018, she launched the first ever Queens Official Fashion Week. Check her out, guys. We see you, Queen. Keep on inspiring.
We see you.
Hold that back with somebody.
So today was a great show, guys. Just want to thank Jason and Johnny for joining us today. And as usual, check us out every other Thursday for Talk with Yours Truly.